Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trust Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm video. And oh my God, it was an insane week for Meta shareholders. Okay, this is like a complete and utter inflection point in the stock, I think, and we have a significant opportunity if we believe in the vision of Mark Zuckerberg, the founder-led major tech CEO that's left remain standing. Okay, we're talking about the earnings call. I'm gonna get to what he had to say about it and what really matters going forward. All right. So stock had demolished 13.5% this week, up 8% this year, but that's massively lagging behind both SPY and Triple Q. So it has a lot of ground to catch up if it's going to have like outperformance over the kind of future. We do have this kind of 146% of the last 5 years where we had this significant dip here. I mean, I was so glad to be able to buy shares down there at $100 a share. Fantastic opportunity. We may get another one back here because the market is not believing in Zuckerberg again. They just
Yes,
doubted him a few years ago, and they're going to do it again.
of which he called them out on the earnings call, which was really cool to see. You had done a video a while ago on it was Meta, Amazon. It's like the Mag 7 stocks
Uh-huh.
and Nvidia and looking at their was it cash flow?
Yeah, free cash flow, free
Yeah,
cash flow
free
yield.
cash flow yield. At the time, Google and Meta were by far the best deals. After this week, Google has shot up insanely since that video. It is killing it,
Uh-huh.
and Meta has not. So that's really
Yeah,
the last one that I'm looking to add of the Mag
interesting.
7.
Yeah, I'd have to do that math again. I haven't looked. It's not something I've looked at recently. But this is where you're seeing the headlines basically saying the stock had crushed worst day in 3 years, higher AI spend. They don't really believe in it. Mark Zuckerberg is going insane. This is another version of the metaverse where he's going to blow all this money. It's never going to return any money for the company. This is exactly what everyone's saying about it. All right. So he said it's pretty early, but they're still seeing returns in their core business. They are using AI in a different way from all the other mega cap tech companies where they're providing a service to other companies primarily through their cloud offerings, as opposed to like a secondarily fact where they're using it themselves, right? Whereas Meta here is using it to drive better advertising. That's what they're trying to do. And then they have released multiple data points on how it's been effective. Talking about, I can't remember the name of the company, but it was like a 14% increase in terms of conversion rate because of their AI powered ads
Okay.
being better targeted, right? So it is meeting the road and putting some rubber down and actually, returning some money to their customers and to themselves, right? So
Okay.
they're also aggressively kind of positioning themselves for this future opportunities in general AI, right? That this is the general AI company. People talk about open AI, but honestly, Meta is got the cash and they have the research going forward that they may be the company that brings general AI to the market. Right? That's what they're really trying to pursue here.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, the three are Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and OpenAI. I think OpenAI. We're going to be doing a video on that tomorrow. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next week, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be one of them too. I thought it was going to be like 25 years off. I still think it's not close, but what do I know? I don't.
Yeah, who knows? So as far as their AI spend, they talked about how they're increasing their capex yet again, and then there's not unique to them. All of these major cap tech companies are all increasing their AI spend. However, Meta is still relatively smaller compared to these peers. Google is twice their size market cap, and Meta is barely behind them in terms of AI spend going into next year, talking about $70 billion, whereas Google is like $90 billion. But like I said, that they're twice the size from a kind of a market cap perspective. So much more aggressive for size bet. Right?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Mind you, I think that's bigger than OpenAI's actual like valuation. And that they also are acquiring other kind of AI companies and aggressively pursuing top AI talent, which is something they've talked about before. Now these top AI engineers are going to get paid like basketball stars coming out of high school. All right.
Yeah,
And
actually,
then
those are insane. Like $100 million a head deals, like a
yeah,
lot. He is
yeah,
not shy at all.
no. Uh, well, I mean, it's an asymmetrical bet where the amount of return that they can have on these people is significant, right? That's the hope here, right? And that they're also buying up cloud infrastructure as far as capacity from other companies too. They're not just building their own data centers. All right, so same thing we talked about here, massive cloud infrastructure. As far as what they actually did this quarter, Their EPS adjusted was 725. They had this massive tax hit for $15 billion, according to the Big Beautiful Bill, which is a non-cash charge. I don't think that's really much of a big deal. They talk about how their effective tax rate will be lower going forward. They were paying an 11, 14% effective tax rate, which is, I need their accountant personally. And then as far as the revenue growth, 26%. You remember when this company was dead 2 years ago? 26% revenue growth, and the market destroys the stock.
So now this was a one-time tax charge?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a one-time adjustment based upon the Big Beautiful Bill. It was $15 billion approximately, and they said going forward, their effective tax rate is actually lower than it would have been before. So it's a non-starter to me.
So this literally, so everyone's freaking out about this $15 billion. So,
Yeah,
all right, that seems stupid. I don't know why we
that,
would drop this much. I'm
yeah,
still
that
I'm
was
still
the
waiting for you to say the reason why they dropped 13 or 14% because I don't understand yet.
that was the initial kind of headline, but that really, I don't think that's what was driving this. It's the AI spend everyone's worried about.
That's it?
So as far as the revenue growth, they're still growing revenue sometimes massively. Somehow, as far as their margins here, I wanted to highlight this, hanging out still back in this 40% range. So their margins have not been compressed. They're doing very well from that standpoint. This, to my knowledge, is the first quarter over $50 billion in revenue. Google just broke $100 billion in revenue for the quarter. Their expenses have trended back up since they had that whole year of efficiency, but nothing has gotten super crazy out of line though. I'm like super worried about it yet, but it is something to keep an eye on. This is where people are losing their minds.
Right.
Look at that;
Okay.
they're doubling their capex year over year. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
All right.
All right. As far as like the price per ad, this is showing you how effective their ads are. They have been increasing broadly across the entire world, and that this is showing that their AI targeting tools are as of now at least useful enough to advertise that they're willing to pay a higher price year over year for this product. All
Okay.
right. And then this is the capex right here, right? So $6 billion all the way up to $18 billion, right? So this is where people are really worried about. They're spending money like drunken teenagers at a casino, okay, which do not belong in either of those categories. This video clip right here is Zuckerberg giving you his vision. It is super useful if you're a Meta stockholder. I highly recommend you. I'll try to put this in the comments down below so you can just click on it. This is a timestamp where he answers the question. The actual transcript of this is right here. All right. So basically, they're saying, why are you spending so much money? All right. Are you going to actually see something positive back from this? And he's like, there are things that we could have invested on in our core ad business that we've had to say no to because we haven't had enough capacity. He goes, we've been aggressively trying to increase our capacity and we've been still under expanding. We need more than we thought. By far, our most aggressive numbers are even still too small. We need to be more and more aggressive is what he's trying to say. And he said, even if we overshoot it, there's two possibilities there. If we overshoot it, we can basically open Meta Cloud, which is something that's been kind of rumored about for a little while, and compete against Google and Microsoft because everyone has been coming to them and asking them like, hey, can you put this service on there? They said they're being approached weekly by customers outside of Meta asking if they can actually kind of give them some capacity. So it is capacity constrained right now. All right. So that's one thing that's new from this call. But it's been rumored before, but this is the first time you've ever heard from Zuckerberg's mouth. The other thing he said too, he's like, what's the worst case scenario? He goes, we've overexpanded. He goes, we're going to need that capacity 2 years from now anyways. So we'll take a little bit loss in the property, plant depreciation, but basically we're going to need it anyways. We're growing into the size. He said there is no significant downside to overexpanding. He goes, if anything, it's being behind the ball. That's the negative risk right now. All right, what do you
I
think?
completely agree with all of that. Also, when it's a pretty good plan when the worst case scenario is you can finally develop cloud because you have that seems like a no-brainer. Actually, after hearing that, I would rather them just have no cash flow and just do as much the max that you possibly could. I have no problem with that. Yeah, I mean I agree. That seems smart because it's the problem is it's a race, right? So it's whoever's first and whoever has the most because whoever is going to have the most capacity is going to get the most clients. Those clients are going to be harder to leave wherever they found that they were best with OpenAI, for instance. So, I'm now okay. I don't want to get greedy. How much do you think this is going to drop? Because I want to, I was going to buy a little bit if it hit 650, which it did. I don't know. I feel like people are going to read this, right? This is common sense that this should not have dropped this much.
No, I completely agree. I think in terms of price there wise, I'd have to look at the free cash flow yield right now, but it's not really a useful metric to give me like an idea
It's not,
because they're
and
just
not for
all
these
these
growth
companies that are
companies.
they're expanding like crazy right now.
Yeah, it's not.
Like 26% revenue growth. Like, I mean, come on, that's insane for a company this size. As far as like the buying price, I would have to. I think it would be more useful with your skill set when you look at the chart and try to find like where you're going to find a support level. That might
Yeah.
be like your best opportunity. But yeah, I mean, this is exciting stuff. Zuckerberg did say general AI maybe 5 to 7 years away. Who knows? He gave a wide range, but he was like we said 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. He was like who knows? But they are pursuing that aggressively. And I love to see it. Like I said, I love the opportunity, the fact that this is a founder-led company during this absolute like game-changing market with the massive financial resources that Meta has. Like I'm excited about this stock. Put
Yeah.
it that way.
No, it makes sense. I'd rather have, a visionary over a business manager, and because we're in visionary times now. As of like 2 years
Yeah.
ago, it switched. So like the Tim Cooks, I always pick on Tim Cook. I don't know why. He's a
Love
nice
him,
guy.
but
I don't know.
yeah.
Yes. But you would way rather have the visionary here that's willing to swing for a home run, especially when the out, if you strike out, is having a cloud business. So I mean,
Yeah,
who cares?
exactly. All right,
Yeah.
guys, let us know what you think down in the comments below.
All right. Later, guys.